All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive on rumination.
Ooh, rumination.
Yeah, and we've got some excerpts from Rumination, Stillness and Art, to guide our conversation.
Cool.
And when you hear the word rumination, maybe you think overthinking, right?
Yeah, like chewing on something over and over again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the source material we have today kind of digs into a deeper meaning of rumination.
Okay.
So it's more about really thinking carefully and deeply about something.
Mm-hmm.
And what really grabbed me in the excerpts was this question.
Okay.
It said, how do you use your quiet moments to fuel your future ambitions?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right. And it's something I think we all kind of struggle with.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How do we actually do that?
Yeah, definitely. And, the source makes this really good point about, how important those quiet moments are, those pauses, in our everyday crazy lives.
Right.
And it's when we take that time to reflect on our past, on, what we're doing right now, and also where we want to go in the future. That's how we really get to know ourselves better.
Right.
And that self-awareness helps us make, smarter decisions.
Sure.
So, think about it for yourself. How could you use that kind of quiet reflection to figure out what you're really good at, what you want to achieve in life, or even areas where you might need to learn and grow a little bit?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that because the source actually calls rumination an art form.
Oh, wow.
Which I thought was really interesting because I always think of art as something you create.
Right.
A painting or a song or something like that.
Yeah.
But to think of this internal reflection as an art form, that's new to me.
It is a cool idea, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's it is internal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it also kind of has this ripple effect outward.
Oh, interesting.
Have you ever watched someone who's super lost in thought? And you can just feel their energy is different, the way they're sitting or standing or even their facial expression.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're seeing a little bit of something really deep happening inside them.
Right. Their thoughts are almost visible.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me think of that quote by Kehinde Wiley that they mention in the book.
Oh, yeah.
It says, if art can be at the service of anything, it's about letting us see a state of grace for those people who rarely get to be able to be seen that way.
That's a powerful quote. And Wiley's portraits, those ones where he paints everyday people.
Right.
But he poses them like they're in those classic paintings. It's he's illustrating that exact idea. He's capturing this inner grace that these people have. And through his art, we get to see it too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with other art forms too, right? They can capture that feeling of deep thought, that stillness of reflection.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what kind of art makes you feel that way? Is it music or poetry or even just silence itself?
That's such a good question. I mean, it really gets you thinking.
Yeah.
So I think we've covered a lot, how rumination is more than just, overthinking, how it can really help us grow as people, and how it's almost like this internal art form that other art can kind of reflect back to us.
Exactly. And while the source talks a lot about stillness being important for rumination, I do think it's interesting to consider that for some people, movement helps them think more clearly.
Oh, yeah.
So could activities like walking or running or even dancing, could those things also help us reflect and learn about ourselves?
That's a really good point, actually, because I've definitely had aha moments when I'm out on a run or something.
Me too, for sure.
So, so to wrap up, I think what we've learned is that rumination is this powerful tool for self-discovery and growth.
Definitely.
And maybe it's an art form that we can all practice in our own way.
And who knows, maybe by looking at different kinds of art, we can even learn how to be better artists of our own inner worlds.
So here's a final thought for you to consider. If rumination is like shaping a sculpture in your mind,
oh, wow,
taking all your experiences and molding them into something new, how can you become a more intentional sculptor of your own thoughts and reflections?
That's a great question to ponder.
Yeah.
I think I'll be ruminating on that one for a while.
Me too.
Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, this was great.
Always fun to deep dive with you.
Likewise.
Yeah? All right, see you next time.
See ya.